Hey, this is Mr. I, just going over a quick video on how to create a data table and a graph for anything that you'd be doing in science class. So you're going to go into Excel, just choose a basic Excel document. You should fire up like this. We're going to start off by putting in your name, going down a couple tabs, and we'll start here. So I'm just going to do highways and the number of cars on the highway. So if we start with highway number here, and then number of cars, we have our two headers. Let's go just up to seven different highways. And then for the cars, we'll just put in some random numbers here. That should work. And there we go. Now the first thing we want to do is clean up our data table. So to clean up the data table, we're going to highlight it, select this button here, which is to center our data. I'm going to go in here, highlight my headers and make them bold, and I'm going to go in and box the stuff in. Using this button here, I'm going to go all borders, and now we're done. You might want to fix it up a bit more, so I'm going to go around there. I'm going to go thick box border, and then I'm going to go here, and I'm going to select the double bottom double border. So it just kind of cleans it up a little bit. Now to make a graph out of this, I'm going to want to highlight one of my columns, click on chart, and then select the kind of chart I'm going to do. We're going to just do a column, just do a simple one like that. And as you can see, right away it creates all the stuff that you really need. And I'm going to want to make it bigger maybe. So if I go to the corner here, I can simply drag, make it slightly bigger. Now it's missing a few things. In particular, your axes are not labeled properly. If you go to chart layout up top here, you'll see that you have ability to add a chart title and your axes. So I'm just going to go through and put in horizontal axes on the bottom and a vertical axis on the side there. All right. Oops. I'm going to just change that because it's a title of a graph. Make it number of cars. And then I'm just going to delete the material here and type in cars. And highway. And there we go. We're done. Now you got your title, you've got your two axes labeled, your horizontal and vertical, and you even have a legend there that indicates that the blue is the number of cars. Now if I don't like this, I can of course go into my chart, change it to, I don't know, maybe cones if you like that, or I don't know, columns stacked. So it's up to you on what you do. I can change my color too over here on my start child. I can chart style, red, purple, whatever you want. Just a couple mistakes that sometimes get made. Just move this one out of the way. If you don't include the number of cars, when you generate your graph, it just calls it series 1. You can actually fix that. You can if you can click into it and you can go select data, you can give it a name that way. You either two-finger click or you have to like right-finger click, or it depends on what kind of a mouse you have for that. But obviously it's easier if you just make sure you highlight that data from the beginning. Okay. Another thing is sometimes people will highlight all the data like that and then generate a chart. And then what it does, it actually creates two there. It's hard to tell, but there's a second column that is the number of highways. I can actually just go in and then delete that out, but it'll still kind of show. But again, it's a quick, easy fix to take care of that. Now in some cases you'll have multiple columns, so you might have more than one piece of data. So in that particular case, if we look at this data table, let's say for example that I also have number of trucks. Go in and again put some data in here, whatever it may be. Okay, now much like before, for highlighting the data, I would merely highlight the data that I want to show up on the graph. I don't want the highways to be actually on the inside of the graph. I want the highways to kind of just be on the bottom. So I highlight just the cars and the trucks. Go in. We'll just do, let's do a 3D pyramid. And there we go. Now, just like before, when we look at this, it is missing some information. So none of my axes are labeled and neither is my title there. So going into chart layout, I simply just go chart title, horizontal axes, vertical axes, and this also got depth, but we can see that it actually, the legend down here covers that for me, the number of cars and the number of trucks.